Hey guys, what is going on? Welcome back. It is Monday. We are ready to rock. I purposely have not touched any of my follow-up file because I just wanted to go over it with you guys today. Just wanted to go over it with you guys today and really address the follow-up. I know that we've made a lot of touches over the last couple weeks, and that there's been a lot of follow-up that needs to be made. So today, that's what we're going to do. We're going to formulate text replies. We're going to go in there, follow up with the realtors we've contacted. We're going to follow up with the homeowners that we're not sure. I let them know that we're still here. So it is going to be a good day today. Follow up. There's a lot of magic that happens in there, and it's one of those files that are like easily ignored. We go, I'll go back to something. Let's move forward. I have that habit myself. I always want to move forward to the next thing. But it's important for us to go back to where we've been and see what's going on. So that's what today is going to be about. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up my Mojo Dialer. I'm going to open up my follow-up folder. Some of these follow-ups are going to be from people we've called. Some of them aren't. But either way, the follow-ups that need to be made from calls that we've been making. So I have a follow-up folder that I put people in, and it's very important to make sure that we address it. And follow-up is probably my weakest point. I'm pretty good at it, but it doesn't mean it's not my weakest point. I easily disregard it. I don't pay it enough respect. Sometimes my notes aren't good enough. The whole follow-up realm, note-taking, follow-up, what to do, I need to improve on. So I just want to go over these here with you. We're just going to start at the top. Not all of these are going to require action, because I don't have that compartmentalized. I have a huge follow-up folder. Currently have 39 leads inside my follow-up folder. So we're going to go over those right now. All right, so the first one is Carol. All right, she had a 55 and up community, and she was in Pennsylvania. So she said, if we are interested in 55 and up communities, to let her know. If so, she'll give us whatever details and tell us about whatever properties become available, which I think is super cool. So I'm now going to text my buyer in that area, and I'm going to ask them if mobile or 55 and up communities have interest in that. All right. So I just said, hey, are you interested in 55 and up communities? I got a pretty good relationship with this buyer, so I can be pretty straightforward. So if so, I'm going to go ahead and call this woman back. So I'm going to go inside my note, and I'm going to put, okay, a texted buyer. Texted buyer to see if we have interest. Text back on Thursday. Yeah, I should have an answer by then. All right. So that's all set. So let's move on to the next one. Next, we've got Marla. Okay, Marla wanted an email with our contact info in the areas that we are looking. All right. So this is great. So Marla needs to get an email from us. One thing that we can do, and that I firmly believe in, is creating a template. If what you write is good enough for someone, it's good enough for multiple people. We don't have to rewrite everything and do all this stuff. We can definitely, make the most of it. So that being said, let me take a look here. All right, so we're going to send her an email with the contact info for the areas that we are looking at. She is a buyer. She's also a realtor, and she works for Berkshire Hathaway. All right, which is great. So now I'm going to take a look and, what areas are we looking at? I imagine she means in Pennsylvania. That's where she's local to. So those are going to be the only areas that, I am concerned with. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to make sure that I get a templated email set up. Let me open one up. I'll get that going right now. So, whenever it comes to making templates, what's up, Nathan? Whenever it comes to, making the template, don't go crazy. Just write an email. So this woman's name's Marla. So I'm going to go, hey, Marla, we spoke the other day on the phone. You mentioned, you are buying properties in the area. Oh, I'm sorry, she's a realtor. She's not buying properties in the area. You are a realtor in the area. I wanted to let you know our target areas, and then we'll include the zip codes, whatever they may be. They are. And then let them know what kind of deals, work best for you, or whatever your buyer is. It's so important to make sure that we are, going into this. And, I like to really nail down my buyer specifications. This is what we look for. This is the ARV. These are the zip codes. If money's not an issue, if anything matches in these zip codes, send it on over. She says she works with other investors, but I would remind her in here, off-market properties, anyone who can't pay to repair their home, anyone who may be distressed, I'd be a great option for. So we're going to let her know the zip codes. So I'm going to look up and see what that buyer is going for, or the zip codes that we are buying in that area, and I'm going to put them in this email. All right, got it. This was a pretty easy realtor relationship. I actually met her, just from cold calling. She had a lot of good questions. She mentioned she was interested when she found out I was an investor, and she said she does this for other people or for one other investor in the area, and she knows how it works. We often tell ourselves, oh, if she's doing it for somebody else, then, she's going to send them the deals. You never know, what's happening. Someone doesn't answer their phone. Someone needs a different zip code. The criteria doesn't match up. They're not nearly as creative. I know that our brains automatically talk us out of things so often due to skepticism. Well, what if on the other side you were constantly talking yourself into the positive outcome? And that's something I really want you guys to consider. Don't say, God, she's doing it for someone else, or they're going to get the deals. Let's really consider that it's going to be us. We're the ones who's going to get the deal. It's going to work out in our favor. She probably used to do this for someone else and wants to look like she's got experience, but we may be the only investor she does this for. And I was talking to a friend of mine in his area, and it was so interesting when he said that there were more homes that had to be repaired back then. They couldn't even sell them retail because there were more homes in the neighborhood that had to be repaired than ones that were ready. And the ones that had to be repaired, the person who lived there couldn't afford to repair it. So there's actually more opportunity to go in and, subject to the place, prepare the house and sell it than there was to actually go in and wholesale. It's really important to know your market and know how things are working. So don't ever assume that someone's beat you to it. I like to assume I'm the first one there. All right, so I got my zip codes in here that my buyers are in. We'll let her know that we're interested in single family and multifamily houses. know that we aren't very picky. Anything that you find discounted is the only thing that we're picky about, right? The other conditions, we're not very picky. We aren't very picky at all. We could, if you come across anything you may know an investor needs an investor's attention. She says she does this for someone else, so let's talk to her like she does. I said I'll contact you soon to follow up as well. Hope you had a great weekend. So we are all set there. And the main thing is I'm going to now save this as a template. Is it good? No, it's not really good, but it's there. And then the next time I go to send it, I'm going to pull it back up, upload it, tweak it, resave it as a template. We want to make sure that we're constantly maximizing our efforts. Anything that you can do, if you can do it multiple times, or if you can, not multiple times, if you can do it once and use it in multiple ways, you're already saving time in the future. Everything that you're doing today, realize what you can actually box up and shelf for whenever you may need it in the future. So here's our template. It's going out right here. I'll actually post it in the comments for you guys. I misspelled words in it. Remember to spell check. All right, so there's a woman who wants us to follow up. And again, not everything's going to be perfect. We're just doing it. Remember, that's the whole purpose of us making these calls and following up with these people. We're not going to be perfect. We can't let analysis by paralysis get us. This is just the first draft. And I already had a good conversation with her. All right. So there we go. All right, so I'm going to send this over to her. All right, so I'm now sending her an email from my business email address. I'm going to send that bad boy out. So now I go back to my follow-up file. That's what we are working on right now. I go in here, email sent, template created. All right, so I went in, saw my notes, send her an email with our contact info and the areas that we are looking in. All right, did it. And sent the email and I created the template. So next time I go in here, I'm not confused. I know that on this date, I sent this to her and I'm all followed up. I also, one thing I did, which I'll put in my next step, which is one thing I've been working on in my follow-up system, is putting on my next steps and what I'm going to do. One thing I've learned is when I readdress these files and I go back to them, I'm not giving myself enough direction. I'm kind of confusing myself, for lack of a better statement. And I'm like, wow, I did not do a very good job of making this easy on myself. I didn't tell me what to do. So I'm going to put send follow-up text or email in 1 week see if she has any properties or came across anything we might be interested in. So then I set that up, and then I'm going to leave her in my follow-up folder, and I'm going to set an appointment for 1 week from the day to follow up with her. All right, all set. All right, next follow-up. Let's take a look. Okay, this one I don't address yet. Call him in a month to see if he's considered, what he's considered. He said to see if he would consider selling it or repairing it himself. Those are the notes I got, so those are pretty good. Now, it hasn't been a month. That was last week, or 4 days ago, actually, so Friday. So I'm just going to skip right over that. That requires no attention at the moment. Okay. This person has a property that they're going to sell, and they want to check up. They wanted to check with their partner. Hey, Katie, welcome. So we're actually going to call them. We're going to give them a follow-up phone call right now. They wanted me to call them back. They wanted to check with their partner. So I'm going to remind them about the call that I made to them and what they said, and hopefully they check with their partner. I've gotten 2 voicemails on this guy, and I keep
forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. 9-1.
I also keep track of the voicemail in the note system. I don't put, I put GVM because I got the voicemail. I didn't leave a voicemail. There's a difference there. I got one. So I put GVM knowing that I did receive their voicemail, and then I hung up, and then I haven't contacted him. I've also texted this guy. I left him 2 voicemails. So I've got 2 voicemails. So I'm going to just put that again. I'm not going to leave him one. And we're going to move on to our next lead. Next time I review this, which will be tomorrow, I may even follow up again immediately. This note-taking system tells me the date and the time. So I know that if I keep calling him at the same time, I may not get him. So I can refer to my notes and see that now's not a good time. Okay, this next one says call around 4:30. Guess what? It's 4:30 Eastern, so we're going to give it a shot. Hello? Hello? Voicemail tricked me again. I put my note that I received a voice message system, and I move on to the next one. The next one, there's actually a note from the person that comps our properties saying that I should check the FEMA maps for the flood area. All right. Well, I'm just doing follow-up messages right now, so I'm going to create a reminder for about an hour to revisit this. The next thing was a buyer. I actually sent him a text, and one thing I've been working on is I've been putting the text I'm sending people in the notes as well. That way I know exactly what level of communication has actually been done to them and everything. So this guy was a buyer, and he was interested in the fact that I was actually making direct phone calls. he wanted me to start calling for him, which is the cool thing. Someone asked me today, Nick, why are you calling the absentees over a more motivated list? Well, I like finding out motivation, and that's a little bit, it can be better, right? But at the same time, what I'm doing in an area is I'm almost setting up shop. I'm finding buyers, I'm calling sellers, I'm really establishing, if you really think about it, one person at a time, with the big smile, great tones, and a pleasurable experience. I'm merely marketing one person at a time. And that's what it takes. So, it is pretty exciting. People are interested in that, especially because I've gotten pretty good results. So he was super pumped. So it hasn't been long enough yet. It's only been 4 days. But I'm going to follow up with Diego in a week, and let him know, hey, I'm still here. I'm still looking for properties, and I'm looking to find out what zip codes you want to buy in. That's going to be our next step. All right, I'll be right back. All right. Okay, this was a buyer I found. Now, I do have zip codes for him and everything. Which is great. So he's all set up. All right, next, I'll follow up with him. Hopefully I can find something in those zip codes and then over the next couple weeks. It's important to keep in contact with these people. That's really what builds a relationship. I'm a little lucky, maybe a little easier for me at moments. My name is Nick, so naturally I may be hard to forget next with my personality. But it's important to really get that hook and make sure that you are sunk into their connection of real estate, you. And it's important that we create that. It doesn't happen in one phone call. If it ever does, it's a beautiful thing. But it really happens with repetitive phone calls, and it really happens with follow-ups and text messages and emails. So making sure that you've got a system of a 1 week follow-up is really good. All right. So this next guy, I'm going to text him. We actually spoke. We had a great conversation. I followed up so much later. I think he confused me for someone else, and he yelled at me and he hung up the phone. So I'm going to try to send him a follow-up message here to say, hey, I'm still here. I'd love to chat with you. Let me know what time works good for you. I just need some additional details. say, hey, you know, we actually spoke a couple weeks ago about the property on Emerald Drive. Um, you know, actually, I've got a couple more questions before I can make an offer on the property, and I was just wondering when is a good time to talk. You know, it's as simple as that. All right, so I text sent. I'm going to update my notes. I'm going to paste what I said in here as well. And we will follow up with him in another week. If he doesn't answer, I'll give him another call, and we'll go from there. All right, next up is Shelly. Call at 6 p.m. It's only 4:30 over there. This other guy, I keep getting his voicemail. Let's give him a shout. They told me to call on Monday a month ago, and I've gotten 3 voicemails since.
Hello?
Hello, hi. I'm sorry to bother you. We actually spoke about a month ago. We talked about my name is Nicholas. We talked about a couple properties you guys own. You said that you were going to talk to your husband at the time, and for me to call back. I've gotten voicemail a couple times since I've called back, but I just wanted to follow up with you guys. Do you remember that conversation?
What was it about?
It was about, we buy properties in the area, and you said that you had a couple of properties. You gave me the address of 103 3rd Street and the address of 13 Normandy. And we were just talking about those properties. At the time, you weren't sure, I think, which one may have been for sale. You were going to talk to your husband about what you guys were going to do. But yeah, so you'd asked me to follow up in a week. I know it's been a month. I've gotten a couple voicemails. But I just wanted to follow up with you, see if you spoke with the husband or if you remember that conversation.
I kind of vaguely remember it, and
Sure.
I'm kind of flying in the sky right now. I'm not 100% sure. Did you look at the property at 13 Normandy Court? What did you think it was worth?
Oh, you know, we didn't make an offer yet. We did not get that far. If you want, I can go ahead and run that information for you. You know, I would just have a couple of questions for you. At the time, you just give me blanket info. You said, let me talk to my husband and call me on Monday. Are you guys considering selling that property?
Half and half. I'm not 100% yet, you know.
Okay.
If you could give me an idea of what I could get for it, that might encourage me to sell it.
Right. Yeah, I understand. No worries. Well, do you have any reasons to sell right now?
No.
Yeah.
I don't have many reasons. It doesn't have a mortgage. It's all paid off.
Okay, and that's the one you guys are currently
And I'm
getting.
renting it.
That's the one you said $2,500 a month. Is that right? That's a 4-bedroom,
Right.
a 4-bath, 3-bedroom house. Is that right? Or did I have that backwards?
So we're at 1, 2, 3. That's a 4-bedroom.
4-bedroom, 3 baths.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other one that you guys have, are you in the same ballpark? You actually have 2 more. You gave me 79 3rd Street, and you also gave me 103 3rd Street. You know, are they all like in the same idea? You kind of half and half want to sell?
Yeah, I'm not ready to go. Oh yeah, I'm selling because I haven't had any prices or anything. I don't know what they're worth or what anybody would give me for them. So
Okay,
if you look at it and you know,
Okay. Now
either 1 or 3 or 13.
do you want me to look at all 3 and see and give you offers if I can make them on all 3 of them? Is that something that you want to consider, or do you want me to just look at Normandy Court for right now?
You can, what it means look at, you don't mean you have to go inside.
No,
right?
not at all. No, I just mean online. I'm not going to go anywhere. No one's going to be bothered. Yeah, I'm gonna run my systems and see how much the property's worth. Any repairs at 13 Normandy right now that you can think of?
No, I put in a ton of money 4 years ago. I put a ton of money into enhance the thing. I made it bigger. I put the addition on and everything. So
Okay, gotcha.
I did a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, what I'll do now, you said it's also you own it outright. Have you ever considered holding the mortgage and maybe doing it that way?
What do you mean?
Well, the way that works.
Selling it then?
Well, yeah, selling it, but it's a way that what we would do. I don't know a lot of details, so don't hold me to it. But the way it generally works is you would hold the mortgage since you own the house outright, and we would actually be able to give you a higher offer on the house and pay you interest. So, for example, let's say the house is worth $200,000. We would give you 5% down, okay, and then we could pay you monthly for 5 years until the house is paid off. And we would give you interest on that money that you would be loaning us. So it would just allow us to give you a bigger offer than if we did a cash offer. Does that make sense? You would be able to get a lump sum. You would still get monthly rent collected, except you wouldn't have to care for the property. The money would come from me, and we would rent the property, and then we would maintain it. That's kind of the cliff notes of it. Is that something you might be? I could talk to my partner and we can come up with something maybe like that, and that way we could talk to you about a cash offer or that way.
Well, you can talk about it. As I say, I'm not ready to dive into anything yet, but
Sure.
definitely, yeah, you can talk about it. You can call me. All right?
All right, you got it. And,
I actually have to go. I have an appointment. I've got to run.
all right, no worries. Thank you so much for your time today. I do appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, great. That was a great follow up. She's not only interested, but she doesn't know, and she's open to holding a mortgage. So that automatically is going to allow me to give her an offer that she might be looking for. Sounds like she doesn't have a lot of motivation. So the next best thing we can do is come up with maybe like a terms deal on something that can make her happy. Because if they don't have motivation, you're not going to get the house discounted, and you're not going to be able to flip it. Right? That's the short of it. She said she's put a ton of money in it 4 years ago. It's probably in really good shape. So she's probably thinking retail and then some. And then what we can do that is if we get close to a terms deal. All right, another good contact. Now I want to look at the times. I've gotten a lot of voicemails with her. So I'm going to take note that I got her at this time. Right? That's very important for us to start to pay attention to. When are they answering? And now is that time. So I got her at 1:30. All right, cool. So she's all set. All right, let's move on to the next one. Okay, Oswald. I like this guy. He's also in New Jersey. His wife had an emergency 2 weeks ago. It was actually a month and a half ago now, and went to Mexico. So I followed up with him in 2 weeks like he asked. She was still in Mexico. Followed up with him another 2 weeks, still in Mexico. So this is going to be my third follow-up. It's now been roughly 6 to 8 weeks, and we are going to see. Guys, don't forget to post your stats from your call sessions today, your follow-up, whatever it might be. Make sure that we're posting whatever effort. Hello?
Please leave your message for 732.
Make sure you're posting on these posts whatever effort you're putting into your business. It's so important that we share with each other. We all have that competitive nature. And we all want to know how we're doing in our own businesses. So, share the information. Let us know what you did today in your business, and if it had a result. All right, this guy did not give me a lot of information. Last time we spoke, it was roughly 3 weeks ago. He had it for 15 years. It's currently a shell. The price has to be right. He said he was going to check out market conditions and see when a good time was. So I'm going to call him back. Last time I called, I got a voicemail. That was last week. So let me see what I get this week. Okay, they mustn't be answering. Okay, this last one, she was going to talk to her father and have him call us. I'm going to go ahead and follow up with her. Let's give her a call. I called her again and got a voicemail, so then I texted her, and I don't think I ever got a reply. I'm dialing now, so let's find out. Get this hair straightened up. Sorry, guys. This flat top I got going on here is serious.
To an automated voice message system. 6.
Okay, so we got the voicemail again. Okay, this one, it's too late. It says call at 2 p.m. Eastern. All right, so I'm going to set a reminder for tomorrow to call at 2 p.m. Eastern, which is 11 a.m. my time. Set that up. Okay, this next thing was a follow-up. They gave me a different phone number that I never called. So let's give that a shot.
Hello?
Hello, hi. Is this Shani?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Nicholas. I called a phone number a couple weeks back, and you actually gave me a different phone number to call. I was calling in regards to 2153 Ridge Avenue,
Uh-huh.
and I was wondering if it was if you'd ever considered selling it before.
Are you Are you an agent, or how did you get my number?
Yeah, I'm an investor. What I did was, how I got this number, just so you know, I actually called a different number, one ending in 3323 originally. Um, and then whoever answered that phone gave me this number to contact you.
Right.
Just so you know. Now, how I got the 3323 was I pull properties, people off the internet all the time who own more than one property, and then sometimes that comes with phone numbers. So then I call them.
Oh yeah, that's not the right number. But anyway, so you are interested in purchasing just properties anywhere, or particularly in that area?
Well, generally anywhere. I mean, if you have other properties, I do buy in multiple areas. We're not.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, I mean, I get multiple mails and it's a lot of different measurements to contact me to try to sell. But when I try to call back on several occasions, what they offer is it's crazy. So I just decided not to.
Right.
Not to go with anyone. Mm-hmm.
No, yeah, and I understand that.
No.
Generally, we are really like nickel and dimers. We do generally look for properties 80 to 85% of market value. We definitely aren't a retail option. Like if it was like all in perfect condition and you wanted to get a realtor and pay 6% and all that, we're definitely not that avenue. But about 15 to 20% off market, and that's generally our ballpark. I mean, and like I said, we generally buy anywhere. If you've got something mortgage free, we're also interested sometimes in in maybe owner financing if you were to hold the mortgage, so that we can get you a bigger offer that way. So there's a lot of things that we can do to work together.
So, what is your offering price for this particular property?
I'll be honest with you, I don't really know anything about it other than it's in the area that I'm looking for. I was just calling to get some, like the condition, the repairs, if it's rented, just some information I would need before I actually formulate an offer, and then I could come up with one.
Well, I really don't want to sell. I was looking for a tenant who wants to rent. And I know that recently in that area it's very popular. There's a lot of demand for the buyers.
Yeah.
So in any case, yeah, it should be on MLS with the details and the asking price. And if it's not something that's close to that price, then I don't even want to.
No, I get that. Do you have a price in mind that you're looking for?
I think it was, I'm not sure exactly, because I have a broker that I'm working with. And do you have an access to MLS?
I don't. Not in Pennsylvania, I don't.
Oh, you from Jersey?
Yeah, I'm from Jersey.
Probably 100, I don't know the exact amount, but probably 130, 140, something like that.
Okay.
And it's not in a condition yet. It probably needs some repairs.
I probably need some repairs. Do you have any idea what would need to be repaired that I can calculate that and come up with a number?
Probably some floors, maybe some plumbing job. I don't know, maybe.
Did you say the floors too? The floors need to be redone?
Yes.
Okay. All right, great. Let me see. How old's the roof on it?
The roof?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have much information on this one.
Okay.
So basically, yeah, I'm looking for someone who wants to rent, not to sell at this point.
Yeah, you're looking. Yeah, you're looking to collect monthly. How much is rent in the area?
Probably 1,300 to 1,500.
Okay, for something this size. How big's the house? Zillow just shows me it's only 2,200 square feet. How many beds and baths is it?
Oh, it's just a storefront, so I don't think it really has all that in there. I don't think it's a good investment for you, to tell you the truth. You know, for someone who wants to develop that whole area, I know that they are doing it. For someone like that, it might be worth investing. Or someone who wants to renovate and rent it out, it might be worth it. But otherwise, just for someone to just go and want to, collect properties, I don't think it's a good investment.
Yeah,
and I don't think it offer the price that I'm looking for.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Yeah, sure. No, I understand.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate the information.
Yeah, I want to encourage you from buying it.
Yeah, I'll take a look at the property, and if we're anywhere near where you're looking for, can I get an email address for you, and I'll follow up with an email?
Well, before I do that, I'd rather talk on the phone first, and
Okay.
then once there's some sort of interest, then we can go forward.
Okay, great. So I'll take a look at this, and I'll let you know
Okay.
if we can get anywhere near your area.
Okay, and what is your name?
My name's Nicholas.
Nicola?
Yeah. You can call
Okay.
me Nick.
Okay, all right, Nick.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Nice talking. You too, bye-bye.
All right. Cool. So I just left a note in there. Got that all set up. Guys, we are 50 minutes in right now, going through our follow-ups. She's looking for 130 to 140K plumbing and floors need to be done. She's just not very motivated. It was one thing that was coming up for her. But you never know. She could be very off on property values too at the same time. The place could be worth $350,000. Who knows, right? You never know. So, really don't judge a book by its cover. I'm going to take a look at the property, see, she's at 130 to 140K. The way I see it is, if I buy this, I'm saving her a bunch of money if she really wants to put a tenant in there. So you never know. It's something to take a look at, but I think it's a waste of time, not a lot of motivation. So we're going to move on to the next follow-up here. All right, let's take a look. Okay, this guy might be a buyer. He was currently on the phone, said he owns a bunch of properties in the area. He was currently on the phone and couldn't talk. So we're going to call him back, see if he's more available.
Hello, we are not available now.
All right.
Please leave your name and phone number after the beep.
Got his
We will
voicemail.
return your call.
And next. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Believe it or not, in this time period, we've made it through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20 of our follow-ups in 50 minutes. That was with 2 good conversations, some follow-ups, emailing people, texting them, and these really are our hottest leads. The people that say, call me back, guess what? They want to talk. The people that signal that they're busy at the moment, they want to talk. It's important for us to really understand these things and make sure that, we go for it. Don't let your thoughts cloud you up, man. They're going to talk you out of this all the time. And you know what? You might be right, but we don't do this because we could be right. We do this because we could make money. And the truth is, if I could be right and not make money, but be wrong and make some, I'm going to do it. And you really have to look at it from that perspective. Do not stop yourself. You know, I'll leave you guys with this for the day. And I heard, I was listening to this audiobook that talked about salesmanship. And he brought up and said, your will to prepare to win must be greater than your will to win in order to succeed. And saying that, it's all in the preparation. How set up are you when you go and sit down? How ready are you? How prepared are you? In this book, he was talking about sales directly. He says to prepare for the sale is so easy, no one just wants to do it. You just got to do some homework, see who they're buying from, Google some stuff, get your facts together, and then you'll come in looking like an expert on their business. You know, it was just an example. But it's so important for us to know that we've got to prepare to win as well as win. You know, but you got to prepare to win more. And you have to want that more, so you know to set it up. Torsten the other day was posting about business plans and strategies and stuff. And, you know, and they're so important. You know, I have a 15-point business plan. This calling stuff is my first point, you know, and as soon as I'm done, I'm on the number 2. I'm about to get the Ringless voicemail software myself and start playing with it. I'm going to show you guys that. I plan on working that into this calling system and everything. All right. Well, I hope you got something out of it today. Guys, post your stats, post your daily business stats in the comments of this video. Thank you so much for being here with me again today, and we'll continue on tomorrow. Thank you guys so much. Bye.